man down, and you did so well in the reaction to it, held the possession. So how proud are you of that performance?
We're satisfied that we defended well throughout the game. We lacked discipline with the ball. We could have put ourselves in a more comfortable position going out for the second half if we'd have completed and had more discipline with the ball. I think we're in and around 50%. Our average is 83, so we're extremely good normally in that area. And I thought if we'd have done that in the first half, we could have been, several more tries on the board. However, London under Mike Eccles have been resilient, from Championship into this, and they never lack spirit and determination, and obviously they had a big part to play in that, in that as well.
What do you think about the sending off? It was a bit of a harsh one.
Do you think it was a harsh one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to disagree with you, but you can reference probably. I think the best one to reference, I think, is in the first game when Harry Smith got his. I think he got no ban, did he? He got totally off with it, and on first reflection, it looked less than that. So I would have been shocked with the yellow, and so I was definitely shocked with the red. But yeah, it is what it is.
Thank you.
Well, you created. It must have been frustrating. The number of opportunities you created, you could have won the game 2 or 3 times. And you never really fixed that, did you?
No.
Blowing opportunities throughout the match.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly in that first half, I thought it was the first half that, like I said before, we were so lacking. Just wasn't finishing the opportunities we had. That sometimes in games like that, they can come back and they'll score a scrappy try, and then you get beat, in the frustrating afternoons, and you walk away having dominated the game, which I thought we did. Dominated field position, territory, and probably didn't have a scoreline to reflect that efforts. But we weren't clinical enough when it mattered with the ball, and that's disappointing. But the positives were we've come here, and we've defended very well. I thought our attitude to defence, which is what we was going to build any sort of victory on, and certainly from our previous game, we needed a better attitude and appetite to defend, and we had that. So there were some positives, but like I said before, once we've done review, it's definitely not one that I'll be putting on every week and rewatching it. It wasn't a classic.
Did the Cass game maybe damage confidence a little bit, or?
I don't think so. I think with this group, they're very quick to most groups are. I think most rugby players in general are honest people, and they're quick to recognise flaws or areas where they've fell down, and our group do that particularly well, and they work hard to rectify it. I think probably the Castleford game, he's certainly, you can put a little bit to attitude, you can put a little bit to, sometimes we've got a car that we're revving at full blast, at some points it just has a little bit of an explosion, and that was that. And whilst we're not as sharp as we'd like at this present time, we're working extremely hard, and we're still in fighting in the right end of the table. So there's a lot of positives in the group, and like everybody knows, we're not blessed with a lot of rotation there, and our bench is a reflection of that against Cass and today, in terms of probably size and positionally. But everybody's willing to do a shift and work hard, and so I can't ask any more of them really, and we'll continue to work hard as a staff and as players to try and make ourselves a little bit more clinical in attack, and and post more points really, which we've always been proud of. That's been a bit of a trademark of ours for a few years now, so we've got to continue to work hard in that area.
The fact they had an extra man for 25 minutes, is that probably the one great thing to come out of it for you, that they didn't score? And that
a little bit, and we had so much territory in that second half, so I felt we were never threatened other than scraps if they were going to go the length off a knockdown or a knock on. We got over the try line at the end. I thought that was an harsh call, to be fair. I thought it was a try. He said Dion Cross has knocked it forward. I'd have to watch it again. Our replays weren't clear, it's there's, like I said, there's a lot of positives in terms of what we did defensively.
And you mentioned how skinny your squad is and injuries and all that sort of stuff. So how are you placed after that match?
Yeah, I mean, there was a few near misses there. I think Tim Laffey got bent in half, didn't he? So he continued. Ethan Ryan took what we looked bad initially. So I guess it's how them two in particular come through when you've had 24 hours and a bus journey back home. How that responds, you know, after that. So hopefully they'll both bounce back okay, and you know we can feel the 17 again and go again and again. And that's kind of how it works.
Mate, your position on the send-off was that if Harry Smith didn't get any suspension, then he shouldn't either. Is that what you were saying? Or?
Well, you can only use comparisons, and it's and so I would highlight that as that was what initially came in my head. You know, the controversy around that, if you like. But this one, I'm not sure. It just looked. Again, I'll have to have a look. I don't like commenting because I don't want to, you know what you'll be writing. Rowley slams this or slams that. Well, I'm not slamming, so I'm going to have a good look at it, and then when I've had a look and reflected on it, I can give a more educated opinion on it. So, but as it stands, it looked very harsh. But it's a silly penalty nonetheless. So we'll look inwards first. We don't want to have a go at anybody in that respect, but. I think you'd be hard pressed to find malice or danger, too much danger within the outcome, which is always the important bit.
On a positive note, Paul, I always like to be on a positive note. 5 wins from 8 at the start of the season. How would you gauge that so far? You must be pleased with that.
Well, that's great. That's fantastic. So yeah, the table's very healthy for Salford. And I think it's a great achievement for the playing group and everybody involved that we've managed to get them wins on the board. So we're always aware and guarded against getting carried away or believing any hype. And when we're fully aware, we've got some tough challenges ahead. But we've cleared a few tough hurdles as well along that 8. So we've got every reason and. To be confident and have belief in the group because of the hurdles that we've cleared and that we can do it again. And what I'll say about this group is tough opposition seems to bring the best out of us, or without being disrespectful, teams at the top of the table seem to bring the best out of this group, and they're certainly comfortable being an underdog. So we'll go into our next few weeks back as that. The underdog, and so we understand we're going to have to work hard and I guess overachieve, which has always been the thing and the theme with us guys. But we'll go into the next few weeks with belief and positivity, and but also knowing that we're going to have to scrap hard for anything that we're going to get.
You like being the underdog as well?
Yeah, always. I don't mind me either way, to be honest. So it's. We still have belief and we just enjoy what we're doing.